That's nice. I like that. Today marks the release of NFL Retro Bowl 26, and I'm going to give you guys my raw live reactions, my first impressions of this game, but now we have the ability to compare it to last year's NFL Retro Bowl 25. What will be missing? What will be added? Will there be any differences? I'm gonna let you guys know in this video, so if you're excited, leave a like. Let's get into it. I'm opening the app. We have the ability to get into exhibition games, and which there's also the new addition of the upper and lower, ability to change and mix and match jerseys. I would love to see that added throughout all of the games. And again, we're going to just kind of, as I see things, as I react, we're going to get into it. So we're going to go ahead and start a new career here. We've got the arduous path to success, but if we believe in our team, glory cannot wait for NFL Retro Bowl 26. This is extremely exciting. So we have the salary cap ability to be changed, which I think they added at some point in NFL Retro Bowl 25. But we also have the ability to obviously choose our favorite team and the starting team. And so we're going to go ahead and just, for the sake of our team, we'll go ahead and pick the Panthers as our favorite team, which it is the truth. And I also know, obviously, with the new addition of all the rookies, which we're up to almost like 2,000 players in this game, that they have licensing for, and that is actually in here, which is insane. But I'm going to go ahead and pick a team that has a very highly touted rookie. So let me just think for a sec. Number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward. So we're going to go ahead and pick the Titans. We'll pick, the difficulty doesn't really make a difference. We'll just choose, easy for the sake of, maybe we get a highlight. And we've got Tania Darby as our head coach. Are there any new coach faces? It looks like, I don't know if these people were added before, but we have 4 pages. I'll have to analyze that, go back and forth with the old version. I think those are seemingly new. I'm not exactly sure, but we're going to go ahead and hop into it. We have the ability to quick start or choose our players. So if you guys played the last game at all, you have the ability to basically kind of choose whoever you want, or you could just quick start. Definitely choose whoever you want, because we're going to be getting into all of the players. There's, again, all the new over 200 rookies, I want to say. We have free agents, and we have a ton of new players that have changed teams. I wonder if they have Micah Parsons on the Green Bay Packers. Let's go ahead and find out. Go to the defense. Which also, look at this. They've got different poses and stuff. So you can see Jordan Love's kind of like, I'm like that. I'm him, We got Sims throwing the ball in the air. We got Golden kind of like, I don't know what that is. He's doing the Elon Musk. He's doing the salute. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. But looking like there is not the addition of newly acquired Packer in Micah Parsons. Unfortunate. But I mean, that literally just happened. Obviously, I would not expect that by any means. I was just curious how on top of it they were. As we can see here, Micah Parsons, who they have at a 3.5-star level player, a 4-star overall. I remember last year they had Tua Tagovailoa's arm strength at a 10 out of 10. I wonder if they still have that. Okay. I'm not even going to wait for the video to come out. Let's just analyze it right here. What the fuck are we talking about? And you're saying right here, Jalen Phillips, who is an edge rusher playing linebacker, is already a better edge rusher at this point than Micah Parsons. What are we talking about? Come on now. Let's wake up a little bit. All right, we have advanced options as well. So practice squad players with free agents or with teams. Now, before you guys' attention span just disintegrates into thin air, I do want to show you this really sweet Super Bowl celebration. I know this is not, a live reaction, but this happened later on in the night when I was playing with a Saints rebuild that I'll be showing on the channel later. But basically, this is just kind of like an end credits homage to your championship team, which I think is just really sweet. We talk a lot about games like Madden when they have the same Super Bowl celebrations over and over. This is a very nice spice of life that has kind of all of your players that contributed to your championship team with the coaches, everything in between shows their stats. This is a very cool addition that I felt like I wanted to show off in this video, even though it's not a reaction. Just wanted to show that off. So injured reserve players or players on a team's practice squad are by default found with free agents in the team builder and will not show up playing for any team during the first year of a career. Change this option to with teams, and these players will be assigned to their teams with their number, allowing for more variety in the opposition team rosters. That's actually what I really wanted. I don't often be able to set that myself personally. So if I play against a team like the Bengals or a team like the Browns, am I going to be able to put in Jamar Chase if he's not in there, or am I going to have to just, be the luck of the draw? That was one of my big issues was when you'd start a franchise for, for the foreseeable future with a certain team, what if, huge key pieces like Saquon Barkley for the Eagles, or Patrick Mahomes, probably wouldn't be Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs, let's be honest here. But I could, maybe they threw in, Blaine Gabbert, and now you're playing a career sim or, a franchise without some of these crazy players, So I'm curious to see how that'll work. I definitely would rather do with teams than with the practice squad or free agents, rather. But we're going to go ahead and figure that out as time goes on. If we just click Random Titans, Will Levis fills in. Okay. That was not the best not the best randomizing. Oh, here we go. Cam Ward, much better. They gave him a 3.5 overall potential. I guess they're really, being pretty stingy with their rankings overall. I mean, they're clearly not wanting to give out a 5-star overall. But let's go ahead and look at positions instead. Just want to see maybe, so it's in alphabetical order, so we kind of can just see. Okay, so they have James Conner as a 5-star overall player. I also want to see who like the highest overall players are at every single position. Saquon Barkley, that's about as good as it's going to get. I wonder if they have Jahmyr Gibbs as a higher running back because he has better catching. Just because he plays, like more of a receiver. I mean, again, it's about as good as it's going to get. I remember last year they also had Breece Hall as a 5-star overall player. They've lowered him significantly here. Chuba Hubbard is very strong. I will say that. Again, I almost said a Packers fan because I saw Josh Jacobs, who was also cracked. I mean, because they're just giving stacked ratings to every running back they see. I can tell you, and they got McCaffrey obviously at a 4.5. Coming off injury, they just can't. We got to see it, Bijan Robinson, a 5-star overall player. I can tell you right now, just for certain, that Chuba Hubbard's a good running back. He's certainly not a 5-star. I wanted to make that very clear. Kyron Williams. So it looks like the best overall running back is going to be none other than Saquon Barkley. It's up there between him and maybe Bijan. So quarterback-wise, they didn't give Patrick Mahomes a 5-star. They gave Lamar a 5-star. He should have maxed out speed. Instead, he has maxed out arm strength and accuracy. And decent stats overall, I would say. Not too bad. Again, they don't give Mahomes a 5-star. They give him a 4.5. Same with Baker Mayfield. I'm curious if they have anybody higher than Lamar Jackson. I mean, we have the MVP of the league in Josh Allen with a 4.5. And the same arm strength as Lamar. I mean, Lamar's got a good enough arm anyway, but still. So now looking at the tight ends overall, who do they have? Do they have any 5-stars? They got a 4.5 for Kittle. We got a 4.5 for McBride. I'm curious to see Kelsey. He'd probably be the only person I could foresee having a 5-star, just because they probably glazed him. No, they gave him a 4. Okay, so they're a little bit more aware of the fact that, he's definitely fallen off a little bit. But you got Brock Bowers as well at a 4.5. Now on to the receivers. Just trying to take a peek at everybody, too. I kind of want to just see what's going on. I wonder if they auto-generate these poses or if they're always the same, each character. Got Justin Jefferson as a 4.5. They definitely don't have maxed out 10s across the board like they did at start last season. I know Jamar Chase had he had maxed out 10s across the board. Where is Jamar Chase? I went over him. He's a 4.5. Damn, they're really being stingy with these 5-star overall ratings. Deebo Samuel has a 4.5. Obviously, he's right up there with some of the best receivers. So they don't have nobody at a maxed 5. So right now they only have one quarterback in Lamar. They have a few different, actually they have quite a few running backs, probably too many running backs. No tight ends, no wide receivers. Chris Lindstrom is a 5-star. I mean, he's up there. He's one of the best guards, but I mean, okay, we'll keep it going. Quentin Nelson's a 4.5, and Kevin Zeitler as a 5-star overall. No, it's a 4.5. No, never mind. I take it back. So just one entire offensive lineman as a 5-star. Looking at defensive lineman overall, what do we got here? We see a lot of 4.5s. Myles Garrett is a 4.5. Aiden Hutchinson, does he have a 5-star potential? He does. I'm not really as concerned. Okay, we have Chris Jones as the first 5-star defensive lineman. I'm actually extremely surprised because on one hand, it feels like they're being very stingy with these 5.5s. Oh, you're not going to give nobody as a quarterback, you're going to give a 5-star besides Lamar. Okay, that's kind of crazy. I mean, we have Patrick Mahomes, one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Mahomey-esque. We've got Josh Allen coming off an MVP season, but no, you're going to give one. But then you're like, James Conner. We got Zach Bond as a 5-star overall linebacker. Insane stats. Probably getting a ton of interceptions and everything else. Jordan Brooks. Okay. Blake Cashman. Blake Cashman's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's really, developed into something impressive, but the linebackers, they're definitely are like the running backs, they are a little bit inflated maybe. Patrick Queen, certainly not a 5-star. That is for maybe his potential 4 years ago. Roquan Smith, okay, I'm with you on that. Got Jamian Sherwood as a 4.5. Okay, they're watching a little tape, watching a little ball. Bobby Wagner's not a 5-star anymore. Sorry to break it to you, dude. TJ Watt, not going to get the 5. Fred Warner will, however. Quay Walker with a 4.5. We've got Quincy Williams, who racks up a lot of tackles. Damn, they gave a lot of players 5-star at linebacker. We're going to get into the defensive backs, the last position before we get into the new features. I'm seeing Jesse Bates, an amazing player. I actually saw a stat that said in the past 2 seasons, he has 10 interceptions, 7 forced fumbles, 2 touchdowns, something crazy. Jesse Bates is an absolute beast, and it sucks that he's playing in the same division as the Panthers because week 1, they kicked Bryce Young's ass. Brian Branch is a 5-star right now, and for the future with a 5-star, and he has even more room to grow. Cooper DeJean, Sauce Gardner's a 4.5. They're not going to give it to him. CJ Gardner-Johnson, also a 4.5. Kyle Hamilton, There we go. Looking good here as a 5-star. Looks like they got the DBs figured out a little more. Gotta give love to my boy J.C. Horn. Got Derwin James as a 5-star. Okay, now they're losing me. They're losing me a smidge. It's not 2021 anymore. Let's wake up a little bit. He's good. He's not a 5-star. You're not gonna give it Josh Allen, but you're gonna give it to him. Okay, Xavier McKinney, 5-star. Okay, you know ball. Jalen Ramsey. Thank God they didn't give Jalen Ramsey anything like, you know, crazy. I think in Madden he's like a 90 overall. They got to figure that shit out. All right, moving into the end. Derek Stingley, a 4.5. Obviously, the reigning DPOY Pat Surtain, PS2. Gonna be a 5-star DB. And it looks like that's gonna be everybody. That's gonna be all the 5-stars. We have actually no Antoine Winfield Jr. There's some things we need to work on there. Overall, not too bad. I guess we gotta look at the kickers. Gotta give them some love. Brandon Aubrey. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. He's a 2-star kicker. All right, well, they really are sleeping on the kickers. So for now, you know what we're going to do? Actually, we should probably look at the free agents as well. Who do we got here? Who's the best free agent available? What do they think? Tyler Boyd's a 3.5. They got Chase Claypool in here. The Bears gave up the 32nd overall pick to get him. I just want you guys to remember that. Got Cody Whitehair, Brandon Sheriff. There's a few really good offensive linemen. Got a 4.5 in Christian Wilkins. Well, Christian Wilkins needs to stop kissing his teammates, and maybe he can get on a football team. You never know. Is that David Long? Emmanuel Mosley, okay. And we got some really good unsigned kickers. So the best kicker in the game isn't even on a team. It's Justin Tucker. Somebody else that needs to learn how to keep his hands to himself. Let's get into the gameplay version of NFL Retro Bowl 26. In surprise news, okay, so we're signing. We're going to go ahead and do the tutorial, I suppose. Maybe it's anything different. I don't know. We'll find out. Front office, okay. We got the eye icon. All looks to be the same here. What is this big glowing green button? Okay, this is that new thing that they talked about and they added. If you guys don't know about it, basically it's like you play as your favorite team. This is why it matters so much when you choose your favorite team. So like as a Panthers fan, you choose this, and then now in week 1, the Panthers will be playing the Jaguars, and I could play. Season starts in 41 minutes. I'm recording this the night before. I'm gonna interrupt myself again here because I did decide to stick around and actually do this challenge, and I can give you a better explanation now. So basically, the more points you get is just how much you're beating your opponent by. You know, longer runs, bigger point differential. That's how it's gonna get your biggest score. You only get one score. You can keep retrying over and over, and the top 2,000 scores are then going to be accumulated to give you the #1 point differential for that team. All right, and that's it. We are here right now. We can see all these helmets, which was one of my favorite things they added. I just love the UI addition. Oh, I like this. They added a little crown. I mean, it's nothing besides a UI addition, but I like that. They got you know, a new logo for the achievements. We've got the updated Super Bowl winners, Player Hall of Fame. All right, so now we can get into the first game. So this would be just regular gameplay. I do want to find out if NFL Retro Bowl 26 has trucking in it. I don't know if they do or not, but we're going to go ahead and we'll change the uppers. We'll give them like a retro jersey, and we'll just take white on top with maybe the blue on the bottom. That looks pretty good. We got audibles. Obviously, everything looks typical and normal. First thing we're going to do is drop back with Cam Ward, deliver a strike to Chigakonkwo, who's going to break a tackle. He's already getting foot loose. He's getting jiggy with it down to the 47-yard line. And now it is time to see if we have the ability to truck. I'm holding it down. It doesn't look like it. We're going to try it one more time. 4th down. I'll drop back with Cam Ward. We'll go ahead and put the wheels on him. And then we will see if we have the ability to truck or not. I mean, I'm fairly certain we don't at this point, but I kind of was hoping we would. Nope, we don't. Okay, so it looks like Retro Bowl, standard Retro Bowl, is the only game that has that so far. Feels good to be back on Retro Bowl. It's been a long time since I played. Probably, I don't even know how long. We're going to zig back in. We're going to juke out everybody. Calvin Ridley, first touchdown on NFL Retro Bowl 26. I mean, we're playing on easy. What are we talking about? So we're going to go ahead and simulate the rest of this game. I'm really curious to see what the sim engine looks like, you know, as far as stats and everything else go. You know, when I do some rebuilds with different teams, what difficulty will I play on? What will those stats look like throughout the season? Colts player, we have one player benched. It's Anthony Richardson. That literally is so funny that NFL Retro Bowl 26, they knew. Even NFL Retro Bowl was like, you're not the guy. You're not that guy, pal. Daniel Jones is the guy. He's playing with exceptional morale with an accuracy boost. They really did Anthony Richardson dirty. They gave him a 2 out of 10 arm accuracy. And honestly, that might be generous. I'm just confused on, like, they said that if you don't have certain players, they'll be in, like, the free agency. I just don't know how you're supposed to access them besides just maybe scooping them out of there. You still have to pay for them. But it's not like they're, like, able to be swapped and rotated in, as far as I see. Maybe I'm not like going to the right spot. If you guys know. And also, can we add 12 players, or is it strictly only 10? Because obviously before, when you had the premium version, you could have up to 12 players. They definitely need to add that. The more players, the better. Like, absolutely. So you know what we're going to do now? We're going to simulate to the end of the season. We're going to get into a draft. And I also wanted to see too. So a couple things. When you had a player, let's say it's Tony Pollard, for instance. He's got a lot of trade value. You trade him away for maybe another player. Let's say you trade away for a tight end or something. I don't. For the sake of this, let's find a player who we don't have the number of. So right now, okay, we could definitely afford to bring in a number 84. So we're gonna trade for Theo Johnson, and they would like a draft pick or a player. We're gonna go ahead and give him a pick. Signing him will exceed our salary cap. Okay, fuck it. We'll just trade a player then. How about a franchise quarterback? What do you say? Cam Ward for Theo Johnson. Okay, the Giants retracted the trade. We got Russell Wilson. Would you just accept the damn trade? That's not even the point. The Giants are not fulfilling what I was trying to do. Let's try this again. Kylan Granson. You go ahead and we're gonna trade you for Tony Pollard. Got a maybe less expensive player. Chigakonkwo. Can't afford him. Gunnar Helm. Okay, can we make this happen? Okay, finally, the Eagles, who already have a franchise quarterback, they say, we're going to do it. And now Kylan Granson's on the team, but this is what I was worried about. You look, he has no number. It takes away from the immersion. I'm just saying. They need to make it to where the number is exclusive to the player and it comes with them. But you know what we're going to do now? We're going to simulate all the way through, and we're going to get to the draft, and we're going to see if the rookies that we bring in are going to have a player model, because that is something that they didn't have last year. And this is one of my biggest gripes with this game, which so far, I'm pleasantly surprised with some things. A lot of it's actually pretty much what I expected. Nothing too crazy. I do like some of the additions, like the uniform stuff. Like I said, I hope they bring that over to, Retro Bowl College and regular Retro Bowl as well. I like how instead of toxic, their morale is dismayed. He's dismayed. He's just so flabbergasted. They're not rating the game yet. Come on, man. We're not even through our first season. Let's go ahead and see if they have Kyler Murray with rushing stats. Something they've never had. He didn't have any in the last game, but he has 14 rushing attempts for 96 yards. So it's something. That is something. And also, Kyler Murray has still red arm sleeves, even though he's not on a team that's red. Austin Eckler has red gloves. So maybe they need to make neutral accessories like sleeves and everything else, just because it doesn't make a lot of sense when they get traded away to other teams. You can write this down, new star. You can write it down. You don't got to pay me for this. All right, wild card. Who's going to be the Super Bowl winner? We've gotten to the awards. Jared Goff wins MVP. Offensive Player of the Year is Christian McCaffrey. Defensive Player of the Year is Jacob Parrish. Unlikely. LaQuint Allen Jr. I don't think that's a real player. I'm 99% certain that's not a real player. If he is, he's got to be 5th on the depth chart. What's it going to look like? Anybody new? Scout players to reveal them. All right, here we go. Got Quez Sealer, the running back. Very good-looking player. We actually have 2 running backs at the top of the board. Now, the big question, can we find out, do the rookies have player models? They have pictures. They do not have player models. Guys, what are we doing? Retro Bowl 26, you're dropping the ball here. Some of the coolest, best features in this game is the fact that there's little guys. They're just standing like this. It's awesome. We need to see more of this. We need to see our rookies incoming with their player model. I mean, and we need to see these numbers. All right, guys, I think that's it for this overall first impressions. I would say when it comes to actually analyzing what the game is and what's new and what's different, I'm excited to see the new players in the game. But to be fair, that's also the same sentiment I have about games like Madden and everything else, where you just are excited to play with the new players and the new acquisitions for teams. There is some cool things, I guess, like the leaderboard thing it's pretty cool, and I like the uniform adjustment, with the upper and lowers. But that's about it, really. It's the same old gameplay, which is fine. I'm waiting for them to add trucking. I'm sure it'll be added definitely by some point in the season. It's about the same as last year. Just maybe a roster update, some new different, player models doing different stuff, doing different gestures. That's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for sticking around, looking at the new NFL Retro Bowl 26. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.